This is a recipe for Silver Dollar City's Succotash Skillet. They posted it on their Instagram account a couple weeks ago. If you're not familiar with Silver Dollar City, it's an amusement park in the Midwest. So it's a package of breaded okra, frozen corn, yellow squash, green pepper, onion, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and garlic powder too. So I've been to the park and chicken breast, and this skillet is one of our favorite foods to get there. So I was excited to try it at home. So I cut up all the ingredients, and it's a long process. So the first step is to saute the onions and the green peppers. And when I saute onions, I saute it for about 5 minutes until the onions start to become transparent. Usually takes about 5 minutes. And then for this recipe, after it's sauteed, you remove it from the pan and put it off to the side. So I just had some glass pans on the stove that I put it in, and then I just covered it with aluminum foil. So then the next step is you cook the corn and squash together. This probably took a little bit longer because you want to cook it until the squash is soft. So I think it took about 8 minutes to basically saute the corn and the yellow squash. And each time I keep just adding a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick to the pan, and then again you put it off to the side with the rest of this stuff. And then the next step is to cook the chicken. I cut the chicken into smaller bite-sized pieces, and it took about, I would say, 12 minutes for the chicken to cook. I did not flavor the chicken. The recipe did not call to flavor the chicken, but I wish I would have. I should have salt and peppered it. So the salt and pepper and garlic powder is to be added later, but if I were to make this again, I would add it at that step. So then you remove the chicken, and now you, it says to fry the breaded okra. I just put a little olive oil and cooked it in the pan that way. So I didn't like fry it where it was like covered with olive oil, but it still cooked good. I just didn't want too much oil. And then the recipe calls to sprinkle the garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And I didn't really like the way, it should have been added earlier. And then you put the chicken back in, and then you put the vegetables back in. Stir it all together. You're basically rewarming the food, meshing it all together. And the breaded okra, I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to find it in our area. I did find it in the frozen food section, and it was really, really good. I might start buying breaded okra just as a side item for other dinners, because it was, like I said, really, really good. So now you put everything back into the pan and cook it. I cooked it for like 2 more minutes just to make sure everything was nice and warm and all melded together. So yeah, this is Silver Dollar City's Succotash Skillet all together, prepping everything. It took about an hour. This is not a simple, easy meal, but it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. My husband loved it. It's just not a quick dinner, but it definitely made me think of Silver Dollar City the whole time we were eating it. And I just served it in bowls, and yeah, I enjoyed it. And if you don't mind taking an hour to cook dinner, I highly recommend trying it. It's a good meal.